Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Go's rising popularity for building command line interfaces, or
Yeah.
CLIs, as you probably call them.
Yeah, CLIs, right?
Our deep dive is based on a blog post
Okay.
titled Notes on Go Programming, Part 1, Ready, Set, Go, published just a couple of days ago on December 24th, 2024.
Oh, very recent.
Yeah, it's on qianmeng.org, a blog by a self-described
Okay.
old software plumber named Ang.
I like that term, old software plumber.
Yeah.
It gives me the impression of someone with a lot of experience,
Yeah.
who's been working with various programming languages over the years
For sure.
and really knows how to get things done.
Ang's been tinkering with open source software for quite a while now.
Yeah.
And based on this post, they're very methodically exploring Go
Yeah.
to see if it truly shines in the area of CLI development.
Interesting.
What really jumped out at me was Ang's head-to-head comparison between Go and Rust.
Okay, a showdown.
Yeah, they built the same CLI app with subcommands in both languages. For Go, they used the Cobra library,
Oh,
and for Rust, they used CLEP.
those kinds of direct comparisons are always illuminating.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one thing to hear abstractly about the benefits of one language over another,
Right.
but it's another thing entirely to see how they perform
Right.
in a real-world scenario.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that Ang found Go, particularly when using the Cobra library,
Yep.
to be significantly easier to work with for this specific task.
Interesting.
Now, we know that Ang has experience with other languages like Rust and Python.
Right.
So this isn't just a matter of someone new to programming
Yeah.
finding one language simpler than another.
For sure, they've got some context.
Right.
It's particularly interesting because they point out that this ease of use wasn't necessarily apparent
Right.
in their earlier experience with Go back in 2018.
Yeah, back in the day.
So this could be a testament to how Go has matured and evolved over time.
Right.
Plus, the Cobra library itself might be a game changer, providing that extra layer of abstraction and structure that makes CLI development in Go
Yeah.
even more intuitive.
That's a great point. Go has definitely come a long way.
Yeah.
And we know the development landscape changes rapidly.
For sure.
So it's fascinating to see that acknowledged in a practical way.
Absolutely.
This observation about Go's evolution also ties into something else that struck me about Ang's post.
Okay.
They talk about needing a tool that's specifically tailored
Right.
for building CLI apps.
Right.
Python, which they're quite familiar with, doesn't seem to be cutting it
No.
for those specific needs.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Right.
It's a great example of the right tool for the job principle
Yeah.
that I think a lot of developers, especially those just starting out, might overlook.
For sure.
Programming languages, like any tool, have strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
Just because a language is popular or powerful overall
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's the best fit for every single task.
Right.
There are trade-offs.
Yeah. And it seems like Ang is on a mission to find the perfect tool for the job.
Yeah, the best one out there.
They're going beyond the usual suspects, exploring languages like Rust and revisiting Go with a fresh perspective.
Right.
It sounds like they're not afraid to dive into new territory to see what works best.
That kind of curiosity and willingness to experiment
Yeah.
is really valuable in a field that's constantly changing.
Absolutely.
Now, while Ang seems to be pretty impressed with Go for CLI development, there is one aspect of Go that they don't seem to love.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Ang calls out Go's use of CamelCase for naming conventions.
Right.
You know, where you capitalize the first letter of each word
Yeah.
in a variable or function name. It seems that they find underscore case,
Yeah.
where words are separated by underscores, much easier to read, especially when dealing with longer variable names
Right.
or complex function definitions.
I can see where they're coming from.
For sure.
Yeah, readability is paramount
Right.
when it comes to writing good code.
Absolute.
And naming conventions play a big role in that. Go's use of CamelCase has been a point of debate
For sure.
in the developer community for a while now.
For sure. Some find it more concise and visually appealing,
Right.
while others, like Ang,
Yeah.
argue that underscore case offers better visual separation
Right.
and reduces the cognitive load when scanning code.
Makes sense.
This preference seems particularly relevant in a language like Go,
Yeah.
where conciseness is a key design principle.
I think what's interesting here is that this debate highlights the inherent subjectivity in what we consider readable or elegant when it comes to code.
Right.
Yeah. It's a reminder that personal preferences and prior experience with other languages
For sure.
can heavily influence how we perceive a language's syntax
Right.
and stylistic choices.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so we know that Aang is returning to Go after several years.
Right.
They've done a comparison between Go and Rust.
Yep.
And they've found Go to be easier and simpler to use when building CLI apps with Cobra.
They also have a strong preference for a different naming convention.
Right.
But that doesn't seem to be deterring them from diving deeper into what Go has to offer.
They're clearly finding value in Go, even if it's not perfect in their eyes. This makes me wonder what else is driving this renewed interest in Go.
Yeah.
It's not just Aang either.
No.
They even mentioned that they observed Go's popularity for CLI development.
Okay.
While browsing GitHub repos.
Let's delve into that.
Yeah.
Why is Go becoming the go-to choice for so many when it comes to building these command line tools?
Right.
What are the advantages that are drawing developers in?
Let's explore those questions and more right after this.
Welcome back.
So you mentioned that it's not just Aang who's turning to Go for CLI development. They notice a trend on GitHub with many developers choosing Go for their command line projects.
Yeah.
What is it about Go that makes it so well suited for this kind of work?
Well, one of the biggest factors is performance.
Okay.
Go is a compiled language.
Right.
Which means it's generally much faster than interpreted languages like Python.
Okay.
This speed is essential for command line tools where users expect snappy responses.
Right.
And don't want to wait around for things to happen.
That makes perfect sense. Especially in a terminal environment, you want things to be as quick and efficient as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And alongside performance,
Yeah.
Go has fantastic support for concurrency.
Concurrency?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a bit for our listeners?
Sure. Concurrency is the ability of a program to handle multiple tasks seemingly at the same time.
Okay.
Think of it like juggling.
Yeah.
You're keeping several objects in the air simultaneously.
Uh-huh.
Go makes this juggling act pretty straightforward with its built-in features like Go routines and channels.
So how does this apply to building a CLI? What kind of real-world advantage does that provide in this context?
Imagine you're building a CLI tool that interacts with a remote server.
Okay.
You might want to fetch data from the server,
Right.
process it,
Okay.
and display the results to the user,
Right.
all while keeping the interface responsive to commands.
Gotcha.
With Go's concurrency features.
Okay.
You could have one Go routine handling the server communication,
Okay.
another processing the data,
Okay.
and another managing the user interface,
Okay.
all working together seamlessly.
Right.
This makes for a smoother and more efficient user experience.
That's a really clear example. It sounds like Go's concurrency support could be a real game changer for complex CLI applications.
It definitely can be. And we can't forget about the ecosystem surrounding Go.
Right.
There's a wealth of libraries and tools available.
Yeah.
Like the Cobra library Aang mentioned.
Right.
Which can really streamline the CLI development process.
It seems like the Cobra library was a key factor in Aang's positive experience with Go for building CLIs.
It seems that way.
What is it about Cobra that makes it so useful in this context?
Cobra provides a structured way to define commands, flags, and subcommands.
Okay.
It takes care of a lot of the boilerplate code
Right.
that you would typically need to write when building a CLI from scratch.
Okay.
This allows developers to focus on the core logic of their application,
Right.
instead of getting bogged down in the nitty-gritty details of parsing arguments and managing command structures.
So it sounds like Cobra acts as a sort of framework
Yeah,
that simplifies and accelerates the process of creating a robust CLI.
precisely.
Yeah.
And because Cobra is so widely used,
Yeah.
there are many resources and examples available online,
Right.
which makes it even easier to learn and use.
That's a big plus. Having a strong community and readily available resources can make a huge difference
For sure.
when you're adopting a new language or tool. It sounds like Go has a pretty vibrant ecosystem surrounding CLI development.
It does. And this brings us back to Aang's observations about choosing the right tool for the job.
Right.
Even though they have experience with other languages.
Right.
They recognize that
Yeah.
Go, particularly when paired with Cobra,
Uh-huh.
provided a more efficient and enjoyable way to build the specific kind of CLI applications they needed.
It's a good reminder that sometimes stepping outside of your comfort zone and exploring new options can lead to discovering a tool that fits your needs perfectly.
Couldn't agree more.
Right.
And even though Go has its quirks,
Yeah.
like the CamelCase naming convention that Aang pointed out,
Right.
those minor inconveniences are often outweighed by the language's strengths and the benefits it brings to the table.
This whole deep dive has given me a new appreciation for what Go brings to the table,
Yeah.
especially for building CLIs. But I'm also curious about the potential downsides.
Okay.
Are there any areas where Go might fall short for CLI development?
Uh-huh.
Or situations where another language might be a better fit?
That's a great question, and it's important to consider the full picture.
Yeah.
While Go excels in many areas,
Right.
there are certain scenarios where it might not be the ideal choice.
Okay.
For example,
Yeah.
if you're building a CLI that requires heavy graphical user interface elements,
Okay.
Go might not be the best option.
Gotcha.
Languages like Python,
Right.
with its extensive GUI libraries,
Yeah.
could be a better fit in those cases.
That's a really good point. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a language's strengths,
Right.
but it's crucial to also be aware of its limitations and consider those in relation to the specific project requirements.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another factor to consider is the learning curve.
Right.
While Go is known for its relatively simple syntax
Okay.
and straightforward approach,
Yeah.
it still takes time and effort to become proficient in any language.
I'd imagine that previous experience with languages like C or Java could make picking up Go easier.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
If you're coming from a background in those languages,
Yeah.
you'll likely find Go's syntax and concepts quite familiar.
Right.
However, if you're completely new to programming or come from a scripting language background,
Yeah.
there will be a learning curve involved.
So while Go seems like a fantastic option for many CLI projects, it's not a magic bullet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's important to weigh the pros and cons,
Right.
consider the specific needs of your project,
Yeah.
and choose the tool that best aligns with your goals and resources.
It seems like Aang has done a great job of that.
I think so.
They identified a need,
No.
explored different options,
Yeah.
and ultimately landed on Go as the solution that best fit their requirements for CLI development.
Their experience provides a valuable lesson for all of us.
For sure.
It's about being open to exploring new technologies,
Yeah.
revisiting old ones,
Right.
and constantly evaluating which tools best serve our evolving needs.
Now, even though Aang seems to be leaning towards Go for their CLI development,
Yeah.
there was that one nagging issue we discussed earlier. Go's use of CamelCase for naming conventions.
Ah, yes, their preference for underscore case.
Yeah.
I'm curious, do you think this stylistic preference could actually impact their decision to use Go in the long run?
Right.
Or is it something they're likely to overlook given the other benefits they've found?
That's a great question. Let's dive into that and explore whether this seemingly small detail could actually be a deal breaker for Aang and perhaps for others considering Go for their projects. Stay with us. So we've established that Go has a lot to offer for CLI development, but Aang has a strong preference for underscore case when it comes to naming conventions.
Right.
Do you think this could be a deal breaker for them?
It's hard to say for sure,
Yeah.
but it's certainly a factor worth considering.
Right.
While naming conventions might seem like a minor detail,
Yeah.
they can significantly impact code readability and overall developer experience.
Especially for someone like Aang who clearly values clean and readable code.
Yeah.
They mentioned that underscore case to them makes the code easier on the eyes, especially when you're dealing with those longer variable names
Yeah.
or complex function definitions.
And remember, Aang has experience with other languages like Python and Rust,
For sure.
which predominantly use underscore case.
Right.
Switching to a language that uses CamelCase might feel like a step backward in terms of readability.
That's a great point. It's like getting used to driving on one side of the road and
Yeah.
then suddenly having to switch to the other.
Exactly.
You might not be impossible, but it certainly takes some adjustment.
Exactly. And for some developers, that adjustment might not be worth it,
Right.
especially if they feel strongly about a particular naming convention.
For sure.
They might choose to stick with languages that align with their stylistic preferences,
Yeah.
even if it means missing out on some of the other benefits that a language like Go offers.
This whole conversation reminds me of the importance of considering those seemingly small details
Yeah.
when choosing a language for a project.
Absolutely.
It's not just about the raw power or performance of the language, but also about how it feels to work with
Yeah.
how readable the code is
Right.
and how well it aligns with your personal preferences and coding style.
Absolutely. It's about finding the right tool for the job,
Right.
not just in terms of functionality, but
Yeah.
also in terms of developer ergonomics and overall satisfaction.
It's like choosing a good pair of shoes.
Uh-huh.
You might find a pair that looks great and performs well,
Right.
but if they're not comfortable to wear,
Yeah.
you're not going to enjoy using them.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's so true. And at the end of the day,
Right.
programming should be an enjoyable and rewarding experience.
Yeah, for sure.
If a language's quirks or stylistic choices are constantly bugging you,
Right.
it's going to detract from that enjoyment.
So what's the takeaway for our listener?
Yeah.
Should they be concerned about Go's use of CamelCase?
I wouldn't say concerned, but definitely aware. If they're coming from a background in languages that predominantly use underscore case, they should be prepared for a bit of an adjustment period.
And if they feel really strongly about naming conventions, it might be worth exploring other languages that align more closely with their preferences.
Exactly.
Okay.
There's no one-size-fits-all answer when it comes to programming languages.
For sure.
It's all about finding the tool that best fits your needs, your preferences, and the specific requirements of your project.
Well said. Aang's experience and their observations about Go, especially when it comes to CLI development, have given us a lot to think about.
It's been a fascinating deep dive into the world of Go and the considerations that developers like Aang are grappling with as they navigate the ever-evolving landscape of programming languages.
It seems like the key takeaway here is that while Go offers a lot of advantages for CLI development, those advantages should be weighed against personal preferences and stylistic considerations.
And ultimately, the decision of whether or not to use Go for a CLI project is a personal one that should be based on a careful evaluation of all the factors involved.
So to wrap things up, we've seen how Go's performance, concurrency features, and robust ecosystem make it a compelling choice for building command line applications.
We've also explored the importance of choosing the right tool for the job.
For sure.
Considering both technical capabilities and personal preferences, just like Aang did in their journey back to Go.
Hopefully this deep dive has given you, the listener, a better understanding of Go's strengths and potential trade-offs. Perhaps it has even sparked your curiosity to explore Go further and see if it might be the right fit for your own CLI projects.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time, happy coding.